Hi there. Have you ever wondered, when thinking about your relatives, if fog and heaviness might be very close relatives of yours? I despise doubt and unbelief and how it creeps slowly, seemingly, upon me, fogging my mind and weighing down my life. You ever get that? I do. And fortunately, I'm in recovery from my visit from my relatives. And I was today reminded of a scene in my favorite trilogy of films, The Lord of the Rings, and in particular, the Twin Towers, or the Two Towers. In it, maybe you remember the marvelous king of Rohan, Theoden. And he's been under the terrible influence of a demonic spellbinder. While Theoden still sits on the throne, he no longer believes he is much of anything, not much of value, and he no longer understands the meaning of his own crown, even though it still sits on his head. Nor does he wield the mighty sword of his kingdom. Instead, others of lesser, ignoble birth and evil intent now direct the kingdom, which is in virtual chaos. As God would have it, at least in the movie, that's how I think it was, a trio of incredibly valiant warriors break through to rescue him, including Gandalf, who exposes and rebukes the spellbinder, releasing the king. Well, he begins to slowly rise to his feet, and his senses and his eyes begin to grow somewhat clearer. And he says, "Dark have been my dreams of late." He says it wistfully, and Theoden looks at his hand and can scarcely move its fingers. Gandalf, who is of course intent upon restoring the king, says, "Your fingers would remember their old strength better if they grasped your sword." While the king's second in command offers the sword to him, and slowly taking it into his grasp, Theoden draws it from its scabbard slowly. And the evil, wormy spellbinder instantly squirms in fear, while the king looks at the sword in wonder. And suddenly, understanding lights his eyes, and his face grows fierce. And the recovering king glowers at the enemy and just hurls him out of the room, which I love it. "Get out of the throne room! You have no business in here." "Hail, Theoden King!" comes the triumphant shout from all around, who look to him with renewed wonder and awe and thankfulness for the recovered king. So let me ask you, how are you, royal son, regal daughter? How are your thoughts today? What's playing in your head? Does it match up to the crown, the dazzling crown that God himself has put upon your head? Has the spellbinder been whispering dark dreams to you, attempting to get you lost and to forget who you are? Well, your fingers would remember their old strength better if they grasped your sword. Same idea. Remember what God has made of you. Take him at his word and act like he meant it. He did. Throw off the lies that say anything else, anything less. Praise the King who shares his glory with you. That's amazing. And you may remember your crown by singing a song to God loudly. Ring the ceiling, make it feel it. Maybe you ought to proclaim a truth that you know. "I'm a holy and righteous son of God, nothing less." Yell it if you have to. Or by maybe grasping your Bible and thrusting it heavenward as the sword that it is. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 10, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people belonging to God, in order that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness and into his wonderful light." That is you. And that kind of stuff will kick the evil one's butt out the door. He has no place with you. And you'll regain faith and grow in strength again and stand as the recovered king or the recovered queen that you are. And that is the greatest thing in this world. There's nothing better than who God has made you to be. Nothing and no one. And that'll also get the spellbinder, get his butt out the door too, because you will have recovered. See you later.